piece of paper in the art of buying and selling houses. And it's where everything starts. This is the sheet your virtual assistant will fill out for you if you'll let them. We have a whole floor of people who don't do anything but make these calls. Literally, we make about 25,000 calls per month to your sellers for you to get these sheets filled out. You don't even know they're doing it or when they're doing it. However, if you're using our Dreams system, which is our CRM system that all of you get at our $297 Gold Club level, amongst all the other tools to run your business, on that Dream system, you can keep track of these because it tells you when they called, or which ones they called, how long they're in the system, and the whole works. So you have access to that information instantaneously. It's on your Dreams website. When our VAs call these people, they're going to ask the questions that's on this page, and especially the ones with the stars on them. So why do we need the stars answered? Because without the answers to the starred lines, we cannot make a decision on whether this is a suspect or a prospect or even worth going after. We have to know what the asking price is of the house. And we have to know what the seller thinks it's worth, because I want to know where the seller's head is. Does the seller think it's worth more than it is? Sometimes yes. Or less than what it is? Sometimes yes. Or are they pretty close? Sometimes yes. I want to know where their head is. Now right below that it says your comps. That's not for them to ask, that's for you to plug in if there's any reason to. I do not need to know what the comps are on a house or what the ARV is until after I get the questions answered to A, B, or C and whether they're interested in any terms or not. Do I need to know the ARV on a house that I have no intentions of ever buying? I need to know anything about a house that I have no intentions of ever buying? No. So I want to get through those, and then we get into the mortgage information, which is the next block down, which is critical. It is critical. How can I determine to move forward or not to move forward if I have no idea what the seller owes on the house or what their monthly payment is? I have nothing to work with until I get that information. Now, our VAs will get that information 85% of the time. And if they don't get it, it's because the seller won't tell them, but they will tell you, the principal. And they will say that quite often. The seller won't disclose, but will tell the principal down at the bottom under notes. I can tell you this. If you call the seller and they won't tell you what the loan amount is, you don't need to know anything else. You've learned what you need to learn. And what is that? You won't be buying this house. Whack them. Move on. Deal with people who want to deal with you and whack the rest at lightning speed. Anybody who won't even tell you what they owe is someone you are never going to do business with. The people you're going to buy houses from will gladly tell you what they owe. You won't even have to ask them twice. And what their payment is, and if they're current, and if it includes taxes and insurance, just like it says in that box. That is critical information. And then A, B, or C, down below. I've modified this sheet 10, 12 times, and it occurred to me, why don't we just let the VAs ask them if they're interested in terms? And for several years now, that's what we've been doing. Look at A. It says, will you sell for what you owe? When that comes back to yes, it should rise your heartbeat. You just got a free house. Now you'll look at the loan amount and the payment, and you'll look at what you think the ARV is and say, wow, I'm either going to go get it or, nah, I owes more than it's worth, his payment's through the roof, nah, probably not. Now look what it says right below. Will you sell the house for what you owe on it? If the answer comes back no, it might be because the seller wants a little bit of money. The seller is asking $200,000 for the house, and he owes $172,000, but he's asking $200,000. You're obligated to ask, will you sell for what you owe? Now if he comes back and says no, maybe he's not interested in getting the whole $28,000. Maybe he'll take a little bit of money and go. So you ask him, well, then what is the least you could accept if I take over your debt and pay your closing costs? Well, I've got to have at least $3,000 to move. By asking that second question, you will now determine whether it looks like you're going to have a deal or not. If they want $3,000 to move and they got a $200,000 nice house in a nice neighborhood and they only own 172, should you have skid marks to the house? Get out there as fast as you can get out there. Now, be careful asking that question in A. If he's asking 200 but he only owes 100, and you ask him, will you sell for what you owe? What have you just done to yourself? You have given solid proof you're an idiot. Just got out of some seminar somewhere and have no idea what you're doing. The seller's asking 200 and you're offering him 100. That's the end of this relationship, I can tell you that right now. So you don't ask will you sell for what you owe unless there's a small gap between asking and loan amount. Is everybody clear on that?
Yes.
All right. RBAs won't either. Now we go to B. Would you consider a lease purchase if we cover all the repairs? If you get a yes or if you get a no, we're going to carry that on a little further and turn it into owner financing. And here's what we do to transfer a lease option yes to an owner financing yes. Ready?
Yes.
How many of you are going to take notes? Okay, 6 of you. That's good. Here's the question. Would you rather lease your house or would you rather sell it? Guess what the answer is almost always going to be? I'd rather sell it. And here's your response. Well, I'd rather buy it. And I'm happy to do so if we can agree upon the terms. As long as you're willing to take a monthly payment until I pay you off. Hear what I said? I'd rather buy it as long as you're willing to take a monthly payment until I pay you off. Now when they say yes, you just turned the lease option into owner financing. One lousy sentence. You went from leasing to buying, assuming you want to. More on that later. Now look at C. C is designed for free and clear house, but we're also going to use C if it's got a mortgage on it if we convert it. So would you consider taking your equity in monthly installments? Or, let's say it's got a loan on it and they don't have hardly any equity. Would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off? Which I probably would use better. Would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off sometime in the future? Now, you get a yes on A, B, or C. You have a potential terms deal. Now, are all these yeses going to be deals? You wish. Okay, so we have to first start with a seller, then we have to weed them down to yeses, and then we got to weed them down to people who actually mean it. And how are we going to do that? We're going to read the script we're going to get to in a minute, and then find out if they really mean it, if they understand it, and what's their definition of terms. But first we start with an indication they would entertain terms. Now I know you're thinking, oh my God, you've got to talk to 500 people to get one to say yes. That's what you're thinking, right? Because it's a hot market, right? I know what you're thinking. I read you like a book. You're thinking, why would anybody sell with terms when the hot market is so hot and they put them on the market and they stand around line around the block and they overbid on the house? That's what you're thinking. By the way, that's all bull, except for a very small section of the town where it's true. And it's true in every big city right now. But it ain't true for the whole city. And it ain't true for people who don't have the house listed for whatever reason. Remember, we are not dealing with listed houses. We're only dealing with FSBOs. Well, then why aren't they listed, you may ask? I don't know. Ask the seller, or don't. Because it doesn't matter. Maybe they hate realtors. Maybe they don't want to pay a commission. Maybe they're intimidated. I don't know. Maybe they had it listed and didn't sell. Don't know, don't care. Quit worrying about why. That big three-letter word. That big three-letter word, why, will trip you up. Why? especially if you're a thinker brain. You guys know what a thinker brain is?
Yeah.
Analytical personality, dots every I, crosses every T, has got to have analysis, and got to have somebody check the analysis. And then we have to make a decision with community voting. Thinker brains act differently than the rest of us. Thinker brains are always looking for the reason why. And they want every I dotted and every T crossed, and they're always looking for what can go wrong, to the point where most of the time they do nothing to ensure nothing will go wrong. But thinker brains, there is help. We just got to get you moving a little faster, thinking a little clearly. Once you come to grips with the fact that you cannot lose because you are not risking anything, it does make the decision easier to move forward quicker without the committee vote. So why? Why do people deed you a house and just walk away? The answer is because the solution you have given them outweighs the risk they have taken. The answer is because, by and large, us Americans are a lazy group of people always looking for the fastest solution at the shortest distance between A and B with the least amount of grief. And when somebody says, I'll take your house and pay your closing costs, it's not a hard decision for them to make, even though the loan stays in their name. Why will people sell you their house with nothing down? Because obviously it's less important to them than it is to you. Or they wouldn't do it. I bought over, I can't tell you how many houses. I quit counting 10 years ago at 3,000. Not one time did anybody, and never once did I ever hold a gun to somebody's ear and say, you sign this or you're dead. Every single time they did it on their own free will because my solution was better than their problem in their brain. Let people do what they want to do, your choice, give them the option, and let them decide what's best for them, not you trying to decide because you're not qualified and you honestly have no clue what they're thinking until you give them something to say yes or no to and explain to them the benefits and remove whatever objections they may have. Why? Quit asking why.